Welcome to a new Daily Top Askreddit video. Today's topic.
If you don't drink alcohol, what are your personal reasons for abstinence? 1 is too many and 12 isn't enough. 25 days sober today. Second time trying. Edit. Thank you all for the kind words of support. I have been attending meetings and I just got my first sponsor tonight. I have joined the sub you all recommended. Again, thank you so much. Really feeling the encouragement and support. I'm allergic to alcohol. I break out in handcuffs. No reason to. Gives me headaches, doesn't taste great and isn't good for you. My biggest thing is headaches, really bad ones. Instant hangover, none of the fun. Within 20 minutes I start getting the awful headache. My younger brother passed away in his sleep one night after a night of drinking at his then Jeef's house. He was too drunk to drive home, so her parents took him home and left him alone in his apartment. His GF found him the next morning dead. After that I just stopped drinking, didn't even realize I'd stopped until a friend pointed it out. But subconsciously I think that experience made going out less appealing. College girl in my town was dropped off at her place by friends. Passed out on the porch and froze to death. If you're going to take care of someone who's drinking, you become the responsible party until you're sure they're safe. I'm sorry that happened to you. Yes, never leave someone who's puked from drinking alone. I can only hope her parents learned a lesson from all of this. Waking up to my mom screaming on the phone my brother is dead is burned into my brain forever. He was my half-brother, but I basically raised him since my mom was a single parent working 2 jobs. I was drunk every night for 20 years. Every single night. It was routine. If I didn't go to a bar I sat at home and drank about a pint of vodka. I couldn't sleep without it. Over 2 years sober now. Do I miss it? Sometimes. However, I am diabetic and riddled with neuropathy due to the years of abuse. I don't miss it enough to continue poisoning myself. Do I miss it? Sometimes. I appreciate this honestly. I feel like so many people tell themselves they don't miss it because that's easier than admitting to yourself drinking yielded some good times but it wasn't worth it. Plenty of people don't miss it all, of course. Fuck yeah, I miss it. Life is easy when you're shit-faced all the time. Wife is mad, drink about it. Work sucks, drink. Bills, drink. Car breaks down, drink. There was never a question where the answer didn't begin with half a sleeve of shooters in my lunchbox. Life isn't easy and nothing good comes from trying to live a life void of inconveniences. My life is 100x better now that I'm raw dogging my way through it. I've just never enjoyed the flavor of alcohol. Same, I tried it in my early 20s and never liked the way it tasted or the way it made me feel. Mid-50s now and don't regret that decision one bit. Holy shit, after seeing all these comments I'm beginning to wonder if someone actually likes the flavor. I would rather have a lemonade always. I'm a recovering alcoholic. I've also discovered I hate the taste. I swear my whole tobacco smoking career there was never a point where I genuinely liked the taste. I mean, like I like a large chocolate milkshake. 15 years of absolute disgust and took a 15-year attempt to quit lol. There were moments I loved the taste of cigarettes. There were many other moments I hated it but had to feed the addiction. Health. Diagnosed with breast cancer 2 years ago and stopped drinking immediately, though I wasn't much of a drinker. Alcohol is a known carcinogen. So I don't end a lying drunk alcoholic like my father and grandfather. Came to comment the same, having shit alcoholic parents can really make one not want to drink. I don't like being out of control. Me neither. I get uncomfortable with the gradual loss of control it brings. Since childhood I've seen enough of my relatives made complete fools of themselves in public because they can't control their alcohol. It was so embarrassing to witness. I'm considering sobriety, or at least drinking less, because I've hurt a lot of people and I'm noticing early in life I might ruin some important relationships if I don't fix something now. I got sober when I was 23. People like to joke about that, saying there's no way I needed to get sober so bad by the time I was 23. If I hadn't, I would have been dead by 25. I'm sure of it. 33, married, 2 beautiful daughters. I'm only 22 but I tend to say and do things I don't actually mean, so I think it's time to hang it up. Very smart. Wish I realized sooner. I like to be in control of my actions at all times. The thought of no longer being in control or even not being able to remember details scares me. Also, because I don't need it to have a good time. Slight edit I wanted to add, being a woman and not being in control of the situation adds a level of fear. I was teetering on the brink of alcoholism and stopped drinking completely one day. It'll be 7 years in February and I don't miss it. I found an SSRI that is more effective and can't drink when on it, so there's that as well. Oh, you can't drink on SSRIs. Good to know. I never drink so I didn't know that. You really shouldn't, but people do and try to say it's fine. They prescribed me Lexapro cause I told them I'm from a small town and basically drink at least a little every night. Said the socialization was important for my depression and didn't want me to stop drinking. But dear Lord, I definitely would black out way faster. Usually I can monitor myself and leave once I'm catching a decent buzz, but it was lights out on Lexapro. I had the honor of telling my mother it was okay to stop life support on my baby brother whose liver failed. They couldn't even put a tube on him because his body stopped producing platelets. He died emaciated and jaundiced. I had already been sober for a few years because of my own struggles. I also had the honor of speaking at my oldest brother's memorial. He had died of an overdose. Our family gathered together and I told some stories of shenanigans we got into while I was in Alaska with him. The fishing trips, the leave the car running I'll be right back, the burnouts, or the time we ran out of gas coming back from Fairbanks. I also had the honor of looking after my father's affairs as he slipped into dementia. I got the phone calls from nursing staff. I was on a first-name basis with the nursing director. I got to tell him his youngest son passed away before he did. I also got to go back to college, rebuild a great relationship with my parents, with my kids, and have genuine authentic friendships with people. I've got to travel quite a bit to tell my story, so those are my personal reasons. The fact that it sucks is secondary. Hey bro, I haven't got much to say, but I'm absolutely sure your brothers would still be and were so proud to be your brother. This sorta hits a bit cause I'm about to start rehab soon, and I don't know what I'd do without my bros. Cheers. Once I start I can't stop. Better just to not. Yep, I can not drink for days and then have one sip of beer, wine or a cocktail and instantly know I'm having at least 3 or 4 more minimum. Same, when I'm not at a festival or it's not near the holidays, I don't really drink, especially not at home. Mostly only when I go out, but when I do, it's never just 1 or 2. Cause in my head I'm like, what is the point of consuming these calories if I'm not getting drunk? I share thoughts that should be kept inside. Also, as I age, when I see people in my demographic getting sloppy drunk, it is an ugly sight. I do not want that look for me. In my 20s that was fine, we were all idiots. But it starts to look foolish after a certain point. I worked in a bar. Watching drunk people while sober will change your mind on how much fun it is. Because I'm an alcoholic. I'm never not an alcoholic, I just chose not to drink 4008 days ago and haven't since. 4009 tomorrow, brother. Fair fucking play to you, that shit takes strength. I like weed better. Same, alcohol just makes me fat and tired. Weed is the way better vice. Haha, that's how weed makes me feel. I've met drunk me, don't need to meet him again. Yup, mine is an asshole too. That was the old me, the evil me. I killed and buried him. Oh, that's the only thing I miss, my friends love, drunk Angie. Evidently I'm a hoot. I'll have to find another way to make them laugh. I'm not abstinent, but I drink less than 3 times per year on average. Costs too much, is bad for your body, tends to mess up my sleep, is kind of wasteful. It sours my stomach and makes me depressed. I'm 4 years of sobriety on Thanksgiving. Because it's literal poison. Yeah, exactly. Nobody asks me why I don't drink battery acid or arsenic. Some people will tell you the dose makes the poison, but there is no amount of alcohol that won't be harmful to your body. You can drink it to numb your senses or make yourself appear more sociable, and in exchange, you get addicted to the stuff. Let's just not. I used to drink, but I stopped because I feel like shit after drinking. My body doesn't handle alcohol like it used to back when I was in my 20s. Edit, spelling. I got old and like my sleep. Same, the hangovers are brutal now. I get way too handsome and intelligent when I drink. It intimidates others. Love booze, love the way it makes me feel when I'm intoxicated. I'm a raging alcoholic whose brain can't function properly when I drink. Sober 400 days and counting. I haven't touched alcohol in about 30 years. My reasons were pissing away the next day, not being good at stopping at just one, and having been a bartender and doorman. That's the way. Stop drinking. Being sober around wasted people. I miss it zero. Really, a buddy of mine blames bartending for not only making him drink but also getting him into coke. I think the key to his comment was being sober around wasted people. Most bartenders I've known are definitely drinking on the job. Scared I'll get addicted. I'm 18, have my whole life ahead of me. Don't want to fuck it up. Smart. Good for you. It certainly will ruin your future if you let it like I did. Wish I could go back to my 19-year-old self and knock that Captain Morgan out of her hands. It causes cancer, which I have a family history of. Also, it makes you fat. I'm trying to lose weight. It's also been linked to an increased risk of hypertension, cardiovascular disease, dementia, and numerous other negative health effects. My father and I are eerily alike. He becomes a violent, hateful abuser when he drinks, and I don't want to find out if I inherited that too. I'm allergic. Alcohol makes me break out in handcuffs. Had to quit smoking and there would be a 0% chance of success if I was drinking. It's been over 4 years since I've touched either. It all tastes like fermented bitter chemical ass. I wouldn't know what fermented bitter chemical ass tastes like, but I know what NyQuil tastes like, and all alcohol tastes like NyQuil to me. Been sober 12 years. Just thinking about drinking again this moment ignites this darkness in me, and I start getting all excited about being self-destructive and feeling free to do whatever I want. All the booze, all the drugs, all night. Fuck everyone. Fuck consequences. It makes absolutely no sense to me to sit down and have 1 or 2 drinks. Pointless. Would make me feel like shit the next day, and also wouldn't be nearly enough to have some real dirty fun. Considering all this, it's just easier to not drink at all than try to manage my insanity about booze.